Welcome back to another video. My name is Tim Bullock, and today's video is going to be how Google Ads fits into your overall e-commerce brand marketing plans, because I know a lot of you want game plans, you want action steps, you want to know exactly what will make you the most profit. So let's get into some of the stuff. So each one has strengths, successes, goals, visions, obstacles, and anchors. So let's start with some strengths. So as an e-com brand, you really want to focus on three things. You want to focus on Google, you want to focus on Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, and you want to focus on organic posting, which can mean either on Twitter, it can also be on LinkedIn, it can be on Instagram, it can be on Pinterest. Whatever it is that you actually like doing and can do it consistently. That is what I mean by organic posting. I do not just mean filling out something, have your product there, write a caption that was generated by ChatGPT and just call it a day. No. You need to actually have some effort into it. You need to have some consistency into it. And you also need to be focusing and channeling a desire onto your product that says your product is better than the other products that are in the same niche. Okay? Now with Google and Meta ads, you want these to get down to a T, meaning you want these to be so successful that you won't ever have to worry about money again. You want your ads to scale, you want your campaigns to scale, and you want your brand to scale. How do you do that? Well, you learn or you outsource it. Usually you would outsource it to an agency. For example, I am currently a freelancer for Google Ads for e-com brands, specifically Christian e-com brands. And so they'll come to me and they'll ask me to run their Google Ads campaigns. I don't run Meta ads anymore, personally. But if you, for whatever, find a agency, they might be able to do Google, they might be able to do search engine optimization, and they might be able to do Meta. And you got yourself a whole stack. Now, the one thing I will touch on with the strengths is you really just need to find that one winning ad that can consistently generate you profit. And we're going to get into that a little bit more in successes, but that is the golden key to the chocolate factory, okay? So let's actually now go on to successes, right? So these are 24/7 running and making sales. So these are your ads that are kicking butt. They are smashing goals. They are getting you sales. They are a winning formula, and you can just duplicate and test and make variants of the placebo because you already know that the placebo is doing amazing. There are a lot of ads out there from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that can be used, mainly Porsche, Playboy, and I'm trying to think of another one. There might be one other one that I think Coca-Cola was also pretty good and ran for a long time. But the two that I know off the top of my head were the Playboy heels and the Delta Airlines one, where the Delta Airlines was you have a girl in every city, and that ran for a while. So moving on to obstacles. Everyone has obstacles. You, me, your grandma, the buddy next door to you. We all have obstacles. And the one that affects your e-com brand the most is going to be lack of innovation, ad fatigue for Facebook ads, and lack of desire from the market. I'm going to touch on each of these. So, lack of innovation. So think of just regurgitating AI stuff. That is the biggest one that I can think of off the top of my head. Now, if you are just copy and pasting stuff from ChatGPT from a prompt that you found, it's gonna be rough, right? Because you're lacking innovation, you're lacking creativity. You have a beautiful gift from God, and it is known as the human brain. And the human brain is like a muscle. And if you constantly are working that muscle, it will get bigger and stronger. And so if you constantly just using ChatGPT to make up your own ads, you won't be doing quite well. And in fact, the lack of innovation is going to hurt you because some competitor is going to come up, scoop up your market, and you're going to be left in the dust. Now, fatigue I won't touch about too much. I recommend you go to Facebook ad experts on that. but I will touch on it just a little bit from my experiences because I use Facebook ads to get email subscribers. And ad fatigue is where people see the same ad over and over again and they get conditioned and they don't do what you want them to do, which is obviously whatever the conversion goal is. For me, it's going to be email signups. So if they are clicking on the ad and they don't actually end up joining my email list, well, I need to see how many times they need to see the ad, because sometimes they might be too busy. Sometimes they might be scrolling at a barbershop, stuff like that. It won't be, they might have to click 15 times in order for them to actually get on my email list. Same can be said for your brand. How many times do they need to see your ad, your product, your headline for them to say, oh, you know what? I might impulse buy. I might buy it now. What do my friends think? Have they ever heard of this product before? Things like that. You got to consider that when running Facebook ads. With Google ads, it's also the same thing. It's more of what can we test? What angle can we go at for this headline that goes into this desire? Lastly, lack of desire from the market. This is a golden nugget from Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. You cannot create mass desire. You cannot create desire out of thin air. It doesn't exist. But you can take from thousands of years of human biology and go in the desire of wanting to look good, having status, money, food, shelter, water, things of basic desires. And then go from there and have the secondary desire. Highly, highly recommend you read the book Breakthrough Advertising to learn more about that. All right, before we get into anchors, let's go over to goals and visions. So, as I was talking about earlier, I use Facebook ads to grow my email list. Now, the goals that you want to have is the ideal goal for the campaign and for your business, right? So it's not just one or the other, because the campaign is a funnel into your business. So if you're thinking about running Google ads and you're saying, well, I don't really actually know if I want to do Google ads, well, I would recommend you try to fit in as much as you can for scaling your products, because Facebook then can figure out the desire because it's more cold audience, whereas Google ads, it's more they're already searching for your products. So it's not so much of, well, do I want to do a new product launch? Well, test out with Facebook, see if Facebook likes it. If the Facebook market doesn't really like it, then you might need to go back to some testing where, okay, let's just try some Google ads. Or, I didn't feel really confident about it. Let's go back to the drawing board and design a different product that solves a desire, right? So the vision also really helps because you get to actually see, okay, how long is this campaign really going to run for? Is it going to run for 90 days? Is it going to run for a year? What is our budget for it? What are the ideal key progress points that we want to see where, okay, we've grown this campaign, now it's time to fully optimize it for this desire, or we want to optimize it for XYZ for this brand, and we want it to only be a branded campaign. Things like that is for the goals and visions. Now, lastly, anchors. So these are stuff that you as a person, not as a brand, but as a person will struggle with. So for me personally, it's overthinking, procrastination, and not just launching the campaign. There are too many times where I personally will overthink and I will actually be paralyzed by indecision. Do not do this. It is bad. If you start overthinking, what I just do is I write it down and then I just end up doing it. So procrastination. I sometimes get affected with this, especially on my phone, but procrastination, it's the attention span. If you can understand that you are just doom scrolling on Twitter or on LinkedIn or on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and you understand that it's a problem, then you can actually work to solve said problem. And not just launching the campaign. The amount of people that have like, I'm thinking about launching a Facebook ads campaign, but they never end up doing it. Just do it and see whether or not it's viable for you, whether or not it's good for you. For Google ads, just launch the campaign. You will stumble. You might not know what the heck you're doing. But that's why you either go to communities, you go to forums, or you ask your friends, hey, how do I do this? So for me, my personal recommendation for you is to just launch the campaign. Get it out there. Let's see what the market is saying, because the market speaks. Actions speak louder than words, and if people are buying your product, you're doing great. And I believe in you. So I hope you got something out of this video with turning Google Ads into a overall marketing plan for your business, because it is just one avenue that you can take for Google Ads. Because Google Ads obviously includes YouTube and the whole Google ecosystem, but if you combine it with Facebook ads and those scale as well as Google Ads, and then you also do the organic posting, you also maybe add in Pinterest, then you go into Amazon, then you go into you already have gone into Pinterest ads, you already gone into Amazon ads, then you go into Bing advertising, and you just start scaling and scaling and scaling, and then eventually it's up to you what you do. The world is your oyster at that point. Well, I hope you learned something. I hope you had a great time, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.